I would have never in a billion years, like, if you had told past me that a female basketball player would be wiping the floor with the biggest stars in the NBA, I would have never believed you.
The haters hoped the Caitlyn Clark effect would die down. Well, I've got bad news for them. It's only just begun. Caitlyn Clark is setting new records, and if I'm interpreting the news correctly, she's going to absolutely dominate in 2026. Big-name CEOs are banking millions on it. Let's get into what just happened. So here's the news that prompted me to make this video. Because it's absolutely insane and perfectly illustrates the Caitlyn Clark effect and how she doesn't need the WNBA, or even to be on a court, to dominate. PSA, the company that grades trading cards and sets the standard for the entire collectibles industry, just released their 2025 data. And Caitlyn Clark became the #1 most collected active basketball player in the world. She beat LeBron James, a guy who's been the face of basketball for 2 decades, the guy with 4 championships, 4 MVPs, the all-time scoring record. She beat every single active NBA player while sitting on the bench injured. But it gets even crazier. PSA released a map showing the most graded active athletes by state. And when you look at the basketball category, it's not even close. It's Clark country. Almost every single state in America, people are sending in Caitlyn Clark cards to get graded more than anyone else. And the numbers back it up. She had 3 of the 10 most graded cards overall in 2025. Not just basketball, all sports. But wait, there's more. In 2024, Caitlyn was ranked #6 in most collected basketball players. In 2025, while missing most of the season due to injury, she jumped to #1. PSA President Ryan Hogue said it clearly. This kind of momentum in the hobby is only seen from the most elite athletes. This isn't about basketball anymore. This is about cultural phenomenon. This is about icon status. When you can dominate the collectibles market while watching games from the bench, you've transcended the sport itself. And this explains why the world's power players are making huge bets on Caitlyn in 2026. We're talking millions of their own cash, and it all revolves around one thing: Nike. Here's what's going on behind the scenes. As you probably know, Nike has been struggling, badly. As of May 2025, their stock price was down nearly 60% since 2021. We're talking about one of the most recognizable brands in the world bleeding value. People were saying Nike lost its fastball, lost its innovation, lost the forward-thinking mindset that made them the king of sports apparel in the first place. Brands that didn't even exist a decade ago were taking market share. Nike looked old, slow, out of touch. And then there was the Caitlyn Clark signature shoe situation. Fans were livid. They wanted her shoe in 2025. It didn't happen. A'ja Wilson got her signature shoe first. And while A'ja is the most dominant statistical player in the league, people were asking, why is Caitlyn, the biggest draw in women's sports, not getting her shoe when she's clearly the one everyone wants to buy? Whether it was A'ja's shoe getting priority or production issues or Nike just moving too slow, it didn't matter. People saw it as another example of Nike fumbling the bag. Another sign that Nike didn't get it anymore. But here's what's happening behind the scenes right now. December 22nd, 2025, Tim Cook, the CEO of Apple, one of the most valuable companies in the world, bought 50,000 shares of Nike stock. Tim Cook doesn't need to make risky investments. He could sit on cash and treasury bonds for the rest of his life and be fine. When someone at that level puts their own money into a struggling company, they know something. They've seen something, they've done the research, and they're confident. And then there's Nike's CEO, Elliott Hill. He bought approximately $1 million worth of Nike stock at the end of 2025. Think about that. The CEO is betting on his own company. That's not something you do unless you know something big is coming. If you're the CEO and you know your company is about to tank, you're not buying $1 million worth of stock. You're selling, you're getting out, and probably getting nailed for insider trading. But Elliott Hill is buying. During a recent business call, Hill revealed that Nike's business in North America went up 9% to $5.63 billion in the last fiscal quarter. 9% growth. After years of decline, the rebound is starting. The numbers prove it. And what's driving it? Caitlyn's signature shoe. On December 31st, Caitlyn appeared on the New Heights podcast with Travis and Jason Kelce, and she said something that should have every sneakerhead, every investor, every basketball fan's attention.
Sometimes I'm like, man, I wish these things grab better. I wish they had a different mold on the bottom of them. Like, were you super involved in that process as well?
Yeah, for sure. And like, obviously I'm pretty like picky about what I wear. Like I like a certain 2 Kobe models. So like I knew whatever I was going to put in my own shoe, it need to be like the equivalent of that technology or even better. And it's going to be even better. I'm not going to say exactly what it is because I think it'll get people excited about it.
That's right. There's going to be new technology just for Caitlyn. And you know it's going to make haters' heads explode. The marketing machine is ramping up, with Nike dropping a Christmas commercial that created the From Anywhere tagline. 2 words that perfectly capture what makes Caitlyn special. This isn't a slow roll anymore. Nike is going all in. The shoe drops in 2026. Date still to be confirmed, but it's coming. And here's what we know. 2 of the smartest CEOs in the world are putting their money where their mouth is. Now just imagine when she actually hits the court again, because this is where the roof is going to be blown off Gainbridge Fieldhouse, and the lingering narrative that the W's success is due to any factor other than Caitlyn. Let me paint you a picture of what happened last year. May 2025, Caitlyn suited up for her first game in 6 months, a preseason exhibition against a no-name Brazilian national team. This wasn't a real game. This was a scrimmage, a tune-up. She sold out Carver Hawkeye Arena in minutes, and there was so much buzz that ESPN decided to televise the game nationally. Again, this is a preseason exhibition game. 1.3 million people tuned in. To put that in perspective, the 2025 WNBA Finals averaged 1.5 million viewers. Now you have to keep in mind that's with the new Nielsen ratings methodology that counts millions more devices and streaming platforms. So those numbers are inflated compared to games earlier in the 2025 season, which means a Caitlyn Clark preseason game likely outdrew the WNBA Finals. So what happens in 2026? When Caitlyn steps on the court with her new shoes on, with the full Nike marketing machine behind her, with a full off-season of hype building, the viewership is going to be off the charts. And we're finally going to see the real impact of those inflated Nielsen ratings. Her first game of the 2025 season against the Sky drew 2.7 million viewers. That was with the old methodology. With the new methodology, with the Nike shoe launch, with the narrative of her return from injury, I'm going to make a prediction right now. She draws over 5 million viewers in her return game. You can tell me in the comments if you think I'm over or under. And here's the thing. With the new media rights deal in place, you know every game with Caitlyn will be nationally televised. The networks aren't going to risk missing out on those numbers. She's appointment television, she's must-see TV, she's the reason casual fans tune in. What does all this prove about Caitlyn Clark? She's bigger than basketball. She's a mainstream cultural figure operating at a level we haven't seen in women's sports. Let's look at the evidence. Trading cards, dominating while injured? Check. Number 1 most collected basketball player in America? Check. Apple CEO investing $3 million in Nike? Check. Nike CEO betting $1 million on his own company? Check. Revolutionary shoe technology never used before? Check. She's going to save Nike and leave no doubt that the W belongs to her. They said it would die down. It didn't. They said missing a season would kill her momentum. It didn't. The Caitlyn Clark effect has only begun. If you're still here, drop a W in the comments because you're a winner for sticking around. Thanks for watching.